Tennessee Titans Weekly, we carry the rock, but being the best podcast with Hawk and Jock. We cover the Titans early in the morning or later, with everything you need, spitting facts, no paper. From the Music City, born and raised, we reppin'. The city and the state of Tennessee, we steppin'. Our fans enjoy, they say they'll enlighten us. Let's go Titans fans and tighten up. Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast. We're here to be the best and never last. Hawk and Jock, what's the plot? To make the Super Bowl, or can we win or not? Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast. We give you news and perspectives and do it fast. When you see our shows, tell us what's up. Let's get this win and go home and tighten up.
Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Jacques. What's up, folks? Good morning, good afternoon, whatever time is your way, folks. What is going on, y'all? What is happening? Shout out to everybody that's already tuned into the show, man, and everything. Listen, if you have not followed us, follow us here now at Tennessee Titans Weekly. Again, we are the official Bleacher Report podcast for the Tennessee Titans. Follow us, download the app on Bleacher Report. We have shows on Apple, Spotify. We're on TikTok, Instagram. We are everywhere. Jacques?
Yes, sir.
Good evening to you, sir.
How you doing?
Good, brother. I'm good, man. How are you, bro?
I'm good, man. You know, busy, living life. You know how I go, man.
Yeah.
Talking Titans.
Yes, sir.
Many different things.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah. So we already starting off with a super chat off the top at the very beginning. Bethany Cheney, what's happening? Hey, we appreciate the super sticker and the super chat. Bethany, hey, we appreciate your support and everything, man. Hey, much love to you. Hey, I got to try to find a picture. Where you at? All right. Bethany Cheney, early. Do-do-do-do.
Boom.
Bethany Cheney in the building early. We appreciate it. We really do.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Yes,
Who else
sir.
we got in the chat? Thank you, Bethany.
We got a corporate. We got Toya in the building. What up, Toya?
What up, Toya? What's happening?
We have James Rogers. What's up,
James
brother?
Rogers?
Sherrod, what is going
Yes,
on?
sir.
We got Mr. Ian Talley in the
What up,
building.
Frat?
What's happening?
What's good, Frat? What's happening?
What's-
Yes, sir.
what's
Yes, sir,
happening,
man.
so?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So,
Man.
well, cool, folks. Well, listen, we are about to get started, y'all. I know you all are excited as well, as much as we are as well. So, as you all know, the Tennessee Titans have hired Gus Bradley, who will be the defensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans. He was the defensive specialist coach there with the San Francisco 49ers with Robert Saleh. Gus Bradley has been a head coach in his past with the Jacksonville Jaguars. So that is another former head coach that's under the umbrella for the Tennessee Titans. So, Jacques,
Yes, sir.
when you think of this group, right? When you think of Robert Saleh, the head coach, you think of Brain Daboll, the offensive coordinator,
Mhm.
and you think of Gus Bradley, who's going to be our defensive coordinator. There's a lot of talk in the NFL as far as us being, as people are very excited. Like, wow, they got a great group of coaches and those things. And as a collective, we probably have the biggest collective group of coaches in the NFL right now when you talk about experience and those things, and even probably attention. Like, we're going to get a lot of attention on that alone based on our coaches, right? But if you say as far as a collective group for these three coaches early, what would you consider this group? Can we consider them, are they rock stars, or would you consider them underachievers?
Man, great question. On paper, they would be considered underachievers, right? And that's if we're just counting their head coaching tenures, yes. But I just don't look at that. I look at the coordinator, your coordinator tenure as well, your coordinator resume, right? And I look at all three of these head coaches, well, former head coaches, and their coordinator resume speaks wonders. I look at them as rock stars, actually, because the stint you get as a head coach, it can define you, but it's like me and my job. If I got promoted to a director, how did I get there, right? I got there. Was I able to achieve what I was able to get to before I got there? And I look at these three sets of coaches and head coaches, and to me, from their body of work, just take out the head coaching part, their body of work of what they've been able to do from a developmental standpoint is rock star. I mean, We go to Brian Daboll. We could talk about the quarterbacks that he's developed from Jalen Hurts to Josh Allen to Jackson Dart, to name a few, right?
Yes,
Then you go to Robert Saleh and his defensive pedigree, what he's been able to do with San Francisco, right? He's taking them, and I think he did a little stint with the Atlanta Falcons. His resume is crazy. Then we look at Gus Bradley. Gus Bradley, out of the 3 or 4 teams, he's had top 10 defenses every stint he went. And I think he went to the Super Bowl with the Seahawks as well. So when I look at this group, to me, this group is rock stars. Take out the head coaching resume and look at the body of work that they did as a collective, rock stars. What about you?
Jacques, that's a hell of an answer, bro. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. We got folks in the chat, y'all. What's going on? Juggernaut in the building. What up, Juggernaut? 9-8. Take top going down. What's happening? We got folks. Hey, shout out to everybody in the chat. Lawrence Williams, what's good, man? What is happening? So, Jacques, I'll tell you this.
Sir.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you really hit the nail on the coffin here as far as the head coaching role, right? Because when you look at Gus Bradley, you look at Robert Saleh, you look at Brian Daboll as head coaches, they underachieved, right? And, when you look at their record, Bradley only won 14 games. He lost 48. That's a lot of games he lost, right? And the Jags fired him. He never had a winning season with the Jags. I think the most wins he had in the season might have been 6 games. It wasn't a lot. Brian Daboll was 20-40-1. He had a tie as a head coach. And then Robert Saleh was 20-36. So when you look at that, it's like, damn. Woo. But to put that in perspective, I'm looking at it per coach, per position, okay? Let's start off with Brian Daboll as the offensive coordinator. Now, as a head coach, yes, he would be right now, as of today, an underachiever, but that's not his role. His role is an offensive coordinator. So I'd have to say he's a rock star based upon his position, based upon his experience. He's coming from a head coach of the New York Giants to now the offensive coordinator. That's rock star level to say, I'm going to, instead of focusing on an entire team, let me focus on one particular side of the football, and that's the offense where I've had success. Even with the New York Giants. Again, this was a team that was in the top, number 14th in the league in offense. You know what I mean? As far as, a team that's not that talented, he had Jackson Dart playing at a very high level when Jackson Dart was on the field. Same with Josh Allen. Josh Allen played his best under Brian Daboll. Same with Jalen Hurts at the University of Alabama. You have a rock star offensive coordinator who I hope is here longer than 2 years, but we'll see. He's a rock star. When I look at Gus Bradley has had defensive coordinator spots in his past. As a head coach of the 3, had the least amount of success as a head coach, but we're hiring him as a defensive coordinator. I think the difference with him is Robert Saleh is like, hey, man, like, I'm calling the plays on defense. I need you to manage the defense. I'm the play call on the defense. I need you to manage this. So you can have a former head coach that had great success on the defense when he was a defensive coordinator in his past as well. I have to consider Gus Bradley a rock star at the defensive coordinator position. So I think you have 2 rock stars at the coordinator position. So now let's look at Robert Saleh, who's the head coach right now of the Tennessee Titans. Robert Saleh went to the New York Jets. The Jets had a lot of issues. He had a quarterback that was going onto the field. First game, first series of the NFL, snaps his Achilles. He's out for the season. Now you have Zach Wilson. You have a lot of players in those things, right?
Facts.
Robert Saleh's tenure with the Jets, when you look at his winning percentage again, 20-36, I think Robert Saleh wanted more to get more. I think going into the season, he's an underachiever. Robert Saleh as a head coach. Now, I say this. I do think he's in a much better situation. He has much better support. Robert Saleh is going to get these guys playing in an incredible level. He had the New York Jets defense as a hell of a level as well, too. I think going into the season, that might be where he's at. But I do anticipate that being a situation where he'll be an achiever here with the Tennessee Titans. So I'm looking at it per role. So that's kind of what I see them as far as all 3 of them going into the season. So we'll know more as the season goes along as far as wins and those things. That's where I see right now.
So you're saying rock star, basically.
As a total collective, yes. With the lead singer having to step it up a little bit, right? The background singers, and the lead singer, he's the best singer of the group, right?
Yeah.
Hey, hit the note, right? He's got it. He can do it. But, it'll be for him this season. Just because we hire all these coaches does not guarantee automatic wins, right? I do think we'll progress, but we'll see as the season goes along. Again, I'm looking more into going into the season what it looks like.
Right.
Yep.
So what up, GT? Gorilla
What
10 in
up?
the building. He says Rockstar across the board. I ain't seen you in a minute, brother.
Going down. What's happening?
IR Hoshi says it's solid staff. Now we need players. Yep. And just be with Sean says Rockstar. So
All right. Cool,
yes,
cool,
I
y'all.
think the
Cool.
consensus is across the board. That's not bad.
Right.
So
right.
let's go to the next segment. Hawk. What's your overall thoughts with this coaching staff? Now I know the coaching staff is still being put together. You have your OC, DC, you have your offensive lines coach. I think we have a safeties coach now. I think we have. I think they're trying to hire a nickel coach.
Yep.
That's
facts.
They got their offensive line coach. We already have special teams coach. We already got a tight ends coach.
Right.
So, and I think Saleh has his right hand man. So, from an overall staff perspective, what's your thoughts?
So I look at this as far as the group itself. This is team redeem team, like the Olympics, right? The redeem team. My overall thoughts is I think this is a group that's going to say, look, man, look, all of us, we've been head coaches. We know how to run a team, right? And, you know, a lot of people are doubting us because of our coaching, records that we've had as head coaches. They're doubting us because with the Tennessee Titans, the Titans have not been a good team over the last 5 seasons. And so when I look at that, I think this is going to give them an extra push to be a great collective group. I think with Robert Saleh, you got a guy that's a leader. I think you got guys that's going to follow this guy. I think that's what's important. And the fact that you have Brain Daboll, who has immediate respect. Even Cam Ward is even saying, look, I want to be coached by a guy that's going to, going to give him some accountability. It's going to push him to get where he wants to be. So I think as a group, when I look at this overall, I feel really good about this group, especially what we've had over the last 5 seasons, right? Mike Vrabel did his thing when he was here. No question about that. Vrabel's going to the Super Bowl, whatever. But he left on bad terms, and we have been kind of all over the place since then. I think some of the coaches we had last year, I think they did the absolute best they could with the talent that they had. I think when Mike McCoy became the coach, and you had guys that, Bo Hart agreed. You had, you had a lot of coaches here, Denard Wilson and those guys. And if I look at that compared to what we have now, oh my God, bro, right? Oh my gosh, that's like comparing Hawaii to Wyoming for a vacation, bro.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I'm saying? So I feel very good about this coaching staff. Now, how our players going to adapt to that, we shall see. But going into the season right now, I'm giving this coaching staff an A-, D. On this way.
You don't do that a lot. You don't do that a lot. You don't do that a lot. Oh, man. Okay.
At least going into the season, they can prove me right or prove me wrong. But based on what we've had, you know what I'm saying? In the past, we had a D coaching staff. I think we got an A- right now, man. So what about you, Jacques? How do you feel?
Man, I over the moon, bro. I mean, you said it. I mean, this coaching staff is going to bring accountability. This coaching staff is going to bring leadership. This coaching staff is bringing experience. This coaching staff is, as a collective, is serious. This coaching staff as a overall, just what they're bringing is something I haven't seen before. Hell, even when Vrabel was here, like I said, I give Vrabel his credit. Vrabel didn't have a coaching staff like this. Okay.
Right.
I think the closest thing you might can get to is when Jeff Fisher had Mike Heimerdinger, Jim Schwartz, but we didn't know those were going to be future head coaches, right? We didn't know that. They were just good coordinators. And so you bringing a lot of experience that is going to go to each level of how should I say this? Sector of the team. So offense, defense, special teams, right? So Daboll is going to handle that entire room over there. I don't even have to go to that room, okay? That's how much confidence I have to say, okay, if I'm a head coach, man, I ain't touching that. You got that, bro.
Yeah.
Me and Gus got this room over here, defense.
Yeah.
And you know what? With both of them, they have specialties, right? Gus can say, okay, cool. I got the linebackers, and so give me the linebackers and give me the D tackles, right? Saleh can be like, all right, cool. I'll take the DNs and work with them this week, and we can come up with something. And then I still want them to hire. Is it Al Harris? Is it Al Harris? I think it's Al Harris. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I still want them to hire him. I don't know if it'll happen, but it'll be nice. But he can take the DBs and say, okay, hey, I got the nickel corners, whoever. And I think that, like I said, they hired a safeties coach. You got the safeties. So now there's a structure that each individual group is getting some type of development that is like I've never seen before. I'm ecstatic, bro. I'm with you. I'm giving him an A, bro. Okay. I got to give Mike Berganzi his credit, his flowers, his to get this done. Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Saleh for having the connections and the relationships that he's built throughout the entire industry, the NFL. And so the thing is, Gus Bradley, that Joker had a paycheck waiting for him with Arizona, I think.
Yep. Right.
He had a paycheck, and he would have been able to call his plays. But because he's worked with Saleh before, he's built that relationship. And there's a common theme about the Titans that I'm hearing this offseason. Something is special about this organization, not just the team, the organization. So Jason Garrett did an interview on Super Bowl Row, and he said he likes what's happening. So they get an A+ from me, dog.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So you and I both are very high on this coaching staff going into the season, man. I think, like you said, it has not. This is amazing. This is great. Okay. So speaking of this coaching staff, shout out to everybody in the comment section as well, too, man. Hey, comments is on fire right now. Shout out to everybody watching the show as well, too, man. I don't know what the weather is where you at. Here in Nashville's a little colder than I thought it was going to be today. I walked outside, thought it was awesome. It's actually kind of cold out here.
22 carats.
Wyoming is actually nice. I hear you, 22 karat gold. I hear you. Well, compared to Hawaii, right? I guess it depends on what it is that you want for a vacation, right? You know what I mean? Yeah. If you want to climb some mountains and you know what I mean? Hey,
yeah, you're right. You're right. Like what you want to do. Like,
what do you want to do?
You want to go here? You want to go
right.
here? Yeah.
I guess I'm thinking of sitting somewhere, chilling out, enjoying the sun. That's what I'm thinking.
I don't want to hurt my knees, right? Climb.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So, speaking of this coaching staff, for what you know today, how far, and you all can throw your answer out there as well too, how far do you think this coaching staff can take us?
Man, bro. That's a great question. How far can this coaching staff take us? Man. So we know as individuals, we talked about the head coaching thing, right?
Right.
Well, I'm gonna use somebody as an example on this coaching staff that was here last year. That's Bones Foster.
Yes, yep.
And what he was able to do is to take the special teams from night and day over a season, specifically overnight. Our special teams became one of the worst units in the league to one of the best. And you got Chimere DK All-Pro, and you got him to the Pro. And he's a well-renowned coach in this league. Now, I take Brain Daboll, who took Josh Allen damn near to the AFC Championship every other year, or damn near every year if you say that, and he developed him. I take Robert Saleh, who he's been to a Super Bowl, and he's had the experience. I think he's been to like 2 Super Bowls, maybe one with San Francisco, one with Atlanta. I take Gus Bradley, who's won one. I don't want to say this. This coaching staff can take us to the playoffs, and they probably can take us deep in the playoffs. Not going to happen overnight. Knock on wood. It might. I don't know. But that's how much potential that this staff has to say, hey, the thing is, you have to have the right mindset of players that is on the same wavelength as them. Berganzi, I'm going to use him. I'm going to go to him. I know he's not part of the coaching staff, but he's part of this unit. He's been to three Super Bowls, 4 Super. How many ever Super Bowls has Joker done been to? The common theme here is they've been successful. The common theme here is they're winners. Maybe not as head coaches, but as individual contributors with their team, they've been winners. So you bring that soup together. That's like me and you bring us together. We're going to create something, right?
Right.
And so I am giving us playoffs and going deep in the playoffs.
Whew. Hold up, Zach. Hold up.
I told you, bro. I told you.
Hold up now, Zach. Hold up now. Hold up now.
Now, I'm going to
playoffs
say this.
In 2026?
I'm going to say this. It's going to take some time, but it's not going to take long. It's not going to take long. It's not going to take long.
All right.
I say 2026. You can, and I'm hearing people say it. The Titans are the last year's New England Patriots. You damn near can replicate it if you do it right, right? Thing is, we are the Titans. So you as a Titans fan, you need to be optimistic, but you need to leave a little like rope over here to say, okay, I don't know, bro, because we're injury away if something crazy happening, right? That's why you always have some redundancy. You always have some backup plans. But 2027, I heard we're getting new uniforms. I wouldn't be surprised. It would not shock me if we go into 2027 and we've won a slew of games this year, and that propels us to not saying Super Bowl, but to the next level. Yes, this coaching staff can get us there. Again, might not happen this year, and I'm not even going to sell them short like that because in that building, you can feel the confidence. And in that building, you have winners. You don't have a loser mindset with these coaches and these people. So that's why I'm like, okay, Brian Callahan, I can be like, yeah, this joker had a loser. I'm not gonna call him a loser, but I'm gonna say he had a mindset that wasn't like Cam, wasn't like Jeffrey. When we play, we know this. When you get around winners, and not even just football, but just period in life,
Yep.
Oh, we can take over the world, bro. We can take over the world. We can do anything we put our mind to.
Right.
And so when I look at this coaching staff and this unit now, Amy did her thing. I got to give Amy credit. She sit back and shut up. She sit back, she shut up, and I don't mean it in that way, but she sit back and she's letting them do their job.
Right.
And respect. So I think this coaching staff can take us afar, bro. I do. What about you?
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you again on this to state your case. Okay. So are you saying, do you feel now again? I know we have a long time to go from right now, right? You saying in 2026 or 2027 or what? I'm
looking at 2027. I'm looking at the bigger picture.
Okay.
2026, yes, I'm gonna use this as a wild card year. I'm gonna use this as a year to say, okay, hey, if you can get about 7-8 games, that's a success, right? Yep. Again. When I look at this is a carbon copy of the Patriots. Now, the Patriots, there's a debate about their schedule, right? Mm-hmm. But when you got to look at the pieces look at everything that's stacked against us last year, and all these teams that we played last year was either in the playoffs. You got 2 teams we played in the Super Bowl.
In the Super Bowl, that's facts.
In the Super Bowl, and you have a franchise quarterback in Cam Ward that, like, wow. Now I'm gonna compare it to the Patriots. I'm gonna compare it to Vrabel. Vrabel is in a situation where Robert Kraft said, okay, Vrabel, I know your mistake. Your mistake is your coaching staff. You just put anybody out there. Hell, you had me and you out there calling offense and defense.
Right. Yep.
And Vrabel, he's so leader of men, and he's so, hey, I can do this. He'll motivate you, but then after a while, that message got stale and it stopped working. Right. Yeah. That's why we're in the situation we're in now. But this time with the Patriots, you had Josh McDaniels, who's a key role in that offense. Absolutely. To say, okay, hey, I got Drake May. I worked with him last year. We're going to keep you. We're going to keep doing what you're doing. Now you just need a defensive coordinator, and he already had pieces, right? He already had pieces in place where he was going to make him successful. So the only thing he had to get in there and do was get him motivated and say, okay, I need to get y'all motivated. I need to get y'all where y'all need to be. And now look where it's got him, right? Now, again, it's debatable to say, okay, hey, his path was a lot easier than his path with the Titans, because our path was hard, right? Our path was really hard when we tried to get to the Super Bowl that year in 2019. So when I look at this team, Daboll, he's up there with Josh McDaniels, okay? He's been able to do that. Right. You look at, again, Robert Saleh and Gus Bradley. They've always had top 10 defenses, top 5 defenses. And Bone Fosters with their special teams, you bring it together, you got a recipe for something nasty, dog.
That's right.
So, that's my case. Okay. We got a super chat.
All right, we got a super chat. What's happening? K Will.
He said, we got a good coaching staff with money to spend, hit different. My issue is in a close game, can we execute winning plays and tighten up? Now, we'll see.
That is K Will. Do.
Boom.
K Will in the building. K Will, we appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir.
We got a good coaching staff. Okay.
I'm gonna come to you next.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you get on some fire, bro, you gotta state your case. How far can they take us, bro? How far do you think they can take us?
All right. So I think it's this. Okay. So this is how I look at it. All right. Okay. So when I eat a ham sandwich, I don't like just a ham sandwich. I gotta have cheese with the ham sandwich, right? You can throw a little mustard, pickle, and things like that, right? Right now, for what we have a ham sandwich. That's our coaching staff. So we have what it takes to sort of, get to a certain point. And I say that to say that I think we have a good enough coaching staff. If the roster's there, we can make the playoffs. And that we can actually make the playoffs in 2026.
Ooh, state your case, Hulk.
But here's the issue. Here's the issue in stating my case. All right. I still feel we're way off on our roster. Now, we have the money. And again, we're early in this conversation, right? It's very early, right? But if we are able to get a good roster here, especially with the fact that we lead the NFL in salary cap space at $100 million, and they're going to throw an extra $22 million for every team in the NFL, right? Okay. So you look at that, you have an opportunity with the right players on this team. Our coaching staff can get them a lot farther than we probably expect. You look at the AFC South. The AFC South has been pretty good this last season. Jacksonville and Houston made the playoffs. Houston had a Super Bowl team, except their quarterback played like me out there, right? But I will say with the coaching staff, when you look at Brian Daboll, a guy that's been a winner with the Buffalo Bills, had Josh Allen playing out of his mind. And I know he's going to do the same with Cam Ward. Josh, he wanted Cam Ward. When he was with the New York Giants, he offered a trade, even a future first-round pick, to be in position to get Cam Ward. It didn't happen. Now he's got him. So with that, he's like, I'm going to do my absolute best to get him to where he needs to be, right? Then you have Robert Saleh. Now, we know, our previous coach, as far as Mike Vrabel, a guy that's a leader of men, that worked here. Robert Saleh is that same type of guy. He's probably more fiery, but he's that same type of guy, right? So you have that. And you have the experience of Gus Bradley. This coaching staff is amazing. And to your point, when you look at Bones Hassel, the special teams coach, the foundation is there, man. The foundation is there. Now, in 2026, I still don't think we have the roster, what I'm looking at now, even adding, because it takes time sometimes. It don't have to take a long time. It just takes some time. So, Jacques, I'm going to tell you something, bro.
Okay.
I agree with you, dude. I'm saying in 2026, unless we just get some unbelievable players, I can see that being a workout year, maybe 6 or 7 wins. Y'all, if we win 7 wins, that's a humongous improvement, right? But in today's NFL, teams are turning things around just like that. The Jacksonville Jaguars turn things just like that. The Denver Broncos did the exact same thing, right? The New England Patriots did just like that, right? In a year, the Jacksonville Jaguars was the second worst team in the NFL last year, right? The New England Patriots was number 3. That's how they picked Drake May. How did they get Drake May? Because they stunk. And where are they now? In the freaking Super Bowl. It can happen. So about being patient and all that, it doesn't always have to be. If you have the right pieces in place, you can win right now.
You ready for this? I'm gonna add to that. And you got the number 4 pick in the NFL draft.
Absolutely.
So you're gonna add, and you're gonna add more talent. Now, 22 karat gold. I seen your comment. She said you're standing on that prediction without knowing the players we may possibly get in the draft for free agency. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm confident that we're gonna get some. And I don't usually say this, but I am confident with the relationships that's in this building that we're going to build a roster that's going to be very, very tough. And how Robert Saleh is, he's going to bring some 49ers over. Hell, Gus Bradley got connections with the 49ers. Buganzi got with the Chiefs. We, like Hawk said, we can turn this thing overnight. And I think Titans fans are so paranoid, which we rightfully so, right? Because we've been bitten in the foot several times. Right. But when it happens, enjoy it, because it don't last long. You see what I'm saying? Enjoy it.
Said it so many times, man.
Enjoy it. Because what I see a lot with Titans fans is when we do something good, it's still a complaint behind something.
That's right.
Hold on. That's right. Hold on. Enjoy this moment while you can. Enjoy it, because it's hard to win in this league. And I know that's the cliche thing to say. But it is very hard to win in this league. And it's very hard to do what they just did. So clap your hands to your coaching staff. We went from one of the most trash units in the NFL to one of the best coaching staffs in the NFL.
Overnight. Literally, overnight.
Thank you.
Overnight.
Thank you.
And so, and for me, as far as standing on a prediction, I'm not predicting. I don't think you are too, Jacques, unless you correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not saying that the Titans are making the playoffs next year. I'm not saying, again, that's unless we get an unbelievable, a lot of players through free agency and things like that, right? I'm just generally saying for right now, I do think the Titans, just on coaching alone, could probably win 3 more games they did this year. There were games that we lost early in the season because of coaching, okay? Coaching. The year prior to that, there was a lot of coaching on that as well. And so when that dynamic changes, then you might can squeak out a win or 2 when you lose by 3 points in the past that a good coach would have made the right play. You could win by 3. That's how close the NFL is, right? Now, we're saying it, once we see the roster in time, and for those that, that have watched this, y'all know, like, over time, things change, right? And so we'll say, look, we're not putting that in stone or whatever, but what I will say is I do think that we'll be better than we were this year. And I think incrementally better, in my opinion.
And then we'll go to the next segment. I got to give Berganzi again his flowers because what he was able to do with this draft class.
Yes, sir.
This draft class just got experience that it's hard to get.
That's right.
As a draft class. Cleveland did it. The Giants had their draft class where they got good experience. The Titans got their draft class where they got a good experience. So
that's
you got to equal that in too. Your second year players, your second year players are going to take a leap. Your third year players are going to take an enormous leap, like Cedric Gray, right? I'm going to use him for example. He's about to thrive in this defense. He thrived in the bull stuff the makeshift bull stuff that they had, what they had now. Now
that's
imagine Saleh and Gus Bradley getting to him and saying, okay, damn, bro, you did this with this. Let me give you this scheme. This is a 4-3 scheme, bro. You seem like you gonna get out. Javon, if you know anything about a 4-3, about football fanatics out there, Jeffrey Simmons is about to act a fool.
He sure is. He is.
He's about now. There's a debate that's saying if T Sweat fits the scheme. I can find a place for him.
You can find a place for T Sweat.
I can find a place for him, especially if I know my pieces.
That's right.
Oh, I can find your place.
That's correct. That's right.
But Jeffrey Simmons he got 11 sacks this year. Don't be surprised if it doubles. Right. Don't be surprised. He about to eat.
And then for T Sweat, I will look at Robert Saleh on the defense and Gus Bradley to get the best out of T Sweat. Because I can't say T Sweat had a good season last year. Right?
I agree.
But the talent is there. The talent, you have a guy that was the Outland Trophy winner in college, right? You have a guy that was a first-team All-American. This guy's 6'7", 6'6", 375 pounds. He's the biggest defensive tackle in the NFL on our football team. So that's where coaching is the difference. Yep. You have Robert Saleh, you have Gus Bradley to bring the best out of these players. Just like you said about Cedric Gray. Cedric Gray is going to be the green dot linebacker on our defense, right? Mm-hmm. You look at the defenses that Robert Saleh and them have had. When I think about the New York Jets, when he had the linebacker from the Baltimore Ravens that got traded to the Jets.
I know who you're talking about.
Mosley. You had C.J. Mosley. He had C.J. Mosley playing like Ray Lewis out there, right?
Come on.
You look at Fred Warner before he got hurt. Fred Warner was playing out of his mind. Yep. Cedric Gray's that type of a guy, right? He's that type of a downhill linebacker that can play in space. So I think that's where coaching, that's what makes a difference in coaching, right? That's what makes the difference. So we'll see from there.
Yep. So the next segment, Hawk, is there any challenges from each of these coaches that you can see that they'll have to face?
Absolutely. All right. So for those that watch the show know as well, we're not going to just say everything is great, good, and all that, right? We're going to also expose things that we feel that certain things could improve. Okay. So if I gave any of these coaches, I think challenges going into the season. All right. So Robert Saleh now is the head coach of the Tennessee Titans. I think for him, very similar to what he did with the New York Jets, he had his hands a lot on the defense, and that's cool, right? That's cool, and it's needed. But did that work out overall, right? Because he was 20-36. So I still want him to be involved in the defense for sure, but he has to think it differently this time, right? There's got to be more of an offensive impact to say as a coach, though I'm running the defense, though I'm the head coach. I got to be involved in everything. I got to motivate my entire team and not strictly focus on one side of the ball, which he has admitted to. He has admitted that my focus has been on defense. You're the head coach. Things are different now. Even with the 49ers, your focus is on the defense. So I just challenged Robert Saleh to look, you are the big dog of the whole bunch. You got a defensive coordinator, of course, work with the defense and those things, but make sure offense, defense, make sure everything is good. Keep everything at bay. You are the head coach. That's my challenge for Robert Saleh. When I look at Brain Daboll as the offensive coordinator, I think with Brain Daboll, and the things that scares me is the fact that Brain Daboll likes to run the quarterback. You look at Jackson Dart, he had like 6 concussions last year. Now, a lot of it is on the way Jackson Dart plays. I know he plays reckless, but even in that, there was games. I called you when it happened, Jacques. I was like, man, I'm surprised that he doesn't get suspended. Jackson Dart literally had a concussion, and he still was running Jackson Dart, at quarterback. Design runs for a guy that has a concussion every game, right? So when I look at Cam Ward, that's something I don't want to see. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Cam Ward getting banged up by running the football, right? Take some of that out of your playbook. He's got to run sometimes. I'm not saying to never run, but don't make that 40% of your play calls for a quarterback run. That's my challenge, I say, with Brain Daboll. Then when I look at Gus Bradley, Gus Bradley had been a head coach. The last time he coached was at 2016. Is that, as far as this defense, he was the defensive assistant for the San Francisco 49ers. He did very well with Robert Saleh and things like that. But Gus Bradley, as the defensive coordinator, how is he going to take that when Robert Saleh now is the head coach? See, you can work together as coordinators. He's the big dog now. You know what I'm saying? He's the boss. He wasn't your boss in the 49ers. So will they clash, right? Two alpha dogs on the defense. Will these two clash? That remains to be seen. He does run a 4-3 defense. He did that in Jacksonville. He's going to do that with Tennessee. They did that with the 49ers. But I think if anything, as far as a challenge for Gus Bradley, that'd be for me, man. What about you, Jacques?
I'm gonna approach it differently. Can they bring the entire picture together? I look at it in this way. When you have entities that have been head coaches before and different philosophies, can we bring this entire picture together and bring a winning product? I don't think Robert called offense with the Jets. I think that's why he's doing it here with the Titans. But as a head coach, again, he got dealt a bad hand because of Aaron Rodgers got hurt. I get that. But the philosophy that y'all have on defense and offense and special teams, that was our problem. It's been our problem for a while. Can we win as a collective? Because if you're looking at last year, one unit's better than the other unit, right? Each game is different. This offense is better than defense this year. And the defense is better than this. And the common theme that you kept hearing all the players saying, hey, we got to bring this thing together. We got to win as a collective. We got to win as a collective. We can't win on all three phases. Then 2 or 3 weeks in a row, special teams is winning. So my challenge is, can they bring this entire picture together and say, okay, hey, all right, offense, we here. Defense, we here. Special teams, we here. Let's put a full game together and let's do this thing together. Is there going to be disagreements and clashing? Hell yeah. When you have testosterone alpha dogs in a room like that, I might see something different than you might see. But can we come to a middle ground and say, okay, hey, your philosophy, your scheme, my philosophy, my scheme. And I think that'll be more Gus and Robert with that relationship that they have. Now, Robert seems like an even keel guy where I compare him to Vrabel in a way where I'm like, Robert seems like he's more accommodating than Vrabel. Vrabel's like, it's my way or the highway. Robert seems like, okay, hey, state your case. Let's see what you got to say. Why do you think we should run this scheme this week versus this scheme next week? What are you seeing on tape that I don't see? I look at Daboll. Daboll's in a corner by himself, right? Daboll's over there doing his thing. Daboll's fiery, right? I heard a quote that Cam said. Cam said, hey, just to sum it up, I'm glad to have Daboll because he's going to hold me accountable, right? When does Daboll dial it back? Because Daboll is intense. If anybody's seen Daboll, coach, he is intense. He is very intense. Will Robert step in, to your point, if he said, hey, we're running the quarterback too much, right? We need to change something up. Is Daboll willing to say, okay, yeah, you know what? I'll give it a shot. That's cool. We won't do that. So when you have 3 head coaches on a team, that brings a lot of experience, but it also brings a lot of philosophy, different philosophies, and it also brings it to where it's like, hey, all right, I feel like I want to be the leader this week. I feel like I want to be the leader this week. Can they take a back seat and say, hey, all right, cool, Robert, you got it, bro. Do your thing. What you think, right? And Robert wouldn't have bumped them over if he didn't have that relationship already, right? And so that's my challenge to them. Can they bring this entire picture together and make it work? That's my challenge to them.
Yeah. I got you. Facts, no paper. Okay. All right, y'all. Well, hey, listen, shout out to everybody that's in the chat. By the way, if you have not followed us, y'all, shame on you. Follow us right now here on YouTube, Tennessee Titans Weekly. Follow us on Bleacher Report. Download the app. We are the official Tennessee Titans podcast on Bleacher Report. We're on Apple, Spotify. TikTok is picking up. Instagram is picking up. Y'all, we're everywhere. There isn't a platform we're not on. We're everywhere, y'all. So listen, we are at our favorite part of the show. Again, shout out to everybody in the comment section as well. We are at the live chop up where we give you all an opportunity to sit at the dinner table, get an opportunity to make, chop up the ingredients, man. Let's get talking. Throw your questions out there. We'll answer them up, man. And if you have a super chat, you know that supersedes everything. I
got GT. I'm gonna roll with you first. You got the first question in the book, my brother. He says, how do you think Cam will pick up the Daboll offense? Do you think he'll have a hard time picking up the Daboll offense?
I don't at all. I think he'll pick up the offense very well. I think as well, based upon, this will be Cam Ward's second coach in his second year, right? Third offensive coordinator, right? You think about it. Because you think about, Brian Callahan and Bo Hardigree was the quarterback coach and had to be the offensive coordinator. So in reality, maybe two and a half coaches, right? I do think that he'll pick up Daboll's offense very well. When you look at Josh Allen, you look at Jackson Dart, those guys picked it up very well. I can see the same for Cam Ward. I do think that, I just hope that Brian Daboll has learned, look, man, I can't just keep running my quarterbacks, man. You know what I mean? I hope he has learned that. That's a concern for me, honestly. But I do think he'll pick up the offense very well. I expect Cam Ward to play very well next year. What about you, Jacques?
I do. Cam Ward, man, he has been in Connor Ward, Washington State, Miami. He's very adaptable. I'm gonna say it like that. And he can adapt very well. And I know he'll pick up Daboll's offense. And especially with Daboll wanting him and how bad the Giants wanted to move up to get them, Daboll probably has something in his repertoire already that's ready for Cam anyway. So yeah, he gonna pick. They probably already talking if they legally can do that. I don't know. They got a tampering period, but
exactly.
Yeah. So IR says 7.5 wins. Taking the over under. Which one, Hope?
Slightly under, maybe 7. 7. Okay. And again, and our game, like over time, that's going to change, y'all, because we don't know who we have, right? But I guess it's okay to talk about it on February 4th, right? I'm gonna say 7. What about you, Jacques? So
I'm looking at the schedule now. I do have the schedule in my hand, and I'm looking at how many playoff teams is on this schedule. So there's 1, 2. It was the Texans, Jags, Steelers, Eagles. The rest I see Washington, the Jets, the Cowboys, New York, Raiders, the Lions, our favorite Baltimore Ravens. I know we played them this year.
Yep.
And the Commanders.
Yeah, like you said, a lot easier than it was this year. Whole lot easier.
It's a whole hell of a lot easier. So I can 1, 2, hold on. 1, 2, maybe 3, 4, 6, 7. I'll take it. I'll take the over. Actually, I do. For some reason, with Mike McCarthy there with the Steelers, I got to equal in because they don't know who their quarterback is, and we know we've had a hard time beating the Steelers. But I'm looking at it, and that's what's his name's teams, not Mike McCarthy's teams. I look at the Commanders; they're a mess right now. I don't know what's going on with them. The Jets, you don't know what you're gonna get from them. Yeah, I'm taking over, bro. For some reason, I don't know.
You sound like you think they're making the playoffs, Jacques.
I ain't gonna say they're making the playoffs, but I think we're gonna be better than what we was. I just do. I'm just looking at the schedule. I'm like, hold on, this schedule look way better than this one this year. This year, the schedule, it was the gauntlet.
Yeah, it was. Every team in the playoffs we played except the. It's only I think one team we did not play this year. The Green Bay Packers.
It was the Packers. Yeah. So we
played. No, we did play the Packers. That's when Malik Willis went off on us.
No. That was the Packers was the year before. Yeah. So it wasn't the Packers.
That's how many games we've lost, y'all. We lost count.
But
yeah.
We played the Jags.
Yep.
The Bills, maybe?
Patriots.
We didn't play the Bills.
The Steelers. We did not play the Pittsburgh Steelers.
And we didn't play the Bills this year either.
No, we did not. It's 2.
Yeah,
that's facts.
Yeah, so it's 2 of them. Yeah.
We played everybody else on our schedule.
Yeah, that's crazy. And you run it through the gauntlet like you did.
Yep.
When Cam and them see the schedule, you can be like, oh, we got some relief. So
that's right.
Bethany got a question. I said, so Daboll coached at Alabama when Ridley was on when Ridley was on the coach of the team. Do you now think Ridley's worth keeping since they are familiar with each other? How do you think we should keep Ridley because of Daboll?
I think Daboll will have influence on that. I think at the end of the day, that's on Mike Barganzi and Chad Brinker when it comes to the money, right? Because, when Calvin Ridley would cost $13 million against the cap space next year, that's a lot of money, right? So the question is to ask Brian Daboll, is Calvin Ridley worth $13 million for one season? That would be the question. And then Daboll would have to answer that question. Again, Daboll coached him at Alabama. That's been many years ago. It's the NFL. College and NFL is totally different, right? That's been 11 years ago, 10 years ago. So I would love to have Calvin Ridley on the team. I mean, he's our wide receiver 1 going into the year until we get some other players. But $13 million is a lot of money. I don't know. It depends on who's interested. If other players are interested more than that, I would probably be like, hey, really get your money somewhere else, man. $13 million is a lot of money, bro. What about you, Jacques?
I'm with you, bro. When I look at Daboll's offense, he wants a star receiver, and even with the Bills, they had Stephon Diggs. They had some receivers. So I just don't right now. No, Ridley, like to your point, it's been a while since he's been in college and they've worked together. I would cut my losses and I would look either in free agency or a trade maybe because I keep hearing the Titans rumblings on trades for wide receivers.
Right.
So I wouldn't count that out. But what it sounds like is trending is he might not be here. So I'm taking cut your loss. Get your money, bro. Go get your money elsewhere. Titans, cut your loss and stack your bread.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Steve says, would y'all trade T Sweat? Oh, and I'm gonna give some context of why this question is being asked, because there's some rumblings on Twitter or X or whatever that T Sweat, T Sweat don't fit the system.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And there's a debate going on.
Yeah.
Would you trade him? Do you think he fits?
I honestly think it's a legitimate question. I do, because T Sweat is a 3-4 D lineman. That's what he is, right? And and playing him in a 4-3, I do think would be a challenge. And I think it would be based upon what Robert Saleh wants to do with him on the defense. Robert Saleh wants. I don't think he wants guy 6'5", 6'6", 370 pounds. Playing there in the 3 technique. So I would say this. I like T Sweat. I'm a big fan of T Sweat. I've even met his family back in Texas, man, when they played the Texans. Like, good people. This T Sweat is a hell of a ball player. You know what I mean? And I think T Sweat as well did not play his best last year. I know he had some issues early in the year that impacted him this year. But I think T Sweat didn't do what he needed to do his second year, his sophomore slump. So I understand the trade value of them entertaining a trade. I would not trade T Sweat, but I would listen. I'd listen. I would. And it had to be something. But it would suck because T Sweat would probably go somewhere else and play a 3-4 and be dominant. But you know what I mean? But I would say this. I'd like to give T Sweat another year. So I'm going to say no. I want to see, because I like T Sweat a lot. I just think he needs somebody to motivate him. I think somebody needs to kick him in his leg and get him pissed off, because I've seen him when he's mad. He's unstoppable. I say no. What about you, Jacques?
I say no. And to answer your question about some like working out, Jeffrey said he's taking T Sweat with him. So Jeffrey's seen it as well. So I want to see what Jeffrey can get out of him first. And then that next year, then we can entertain it. Yeah. I think when you have young talent like that, I wouldn't shake it up just yet. Yeah. And I know in a 4-3, you want your outsides to be a little bit speedy, right? Which that's why they're entertaining it. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I would say if you're rich, if you want to get richer, I say keep them, because you never know, right? You never know if you need them. You might can end up changing with Jeffrey. Like if I'm running my 4-3 defense, man, I'm all over the place. I'm not gonna say I'm all over the place, but if we draft Bain, man, I'm putting Jeffrey at the end too. I'm gonna mix it up. I'm gonna mix it up. So I keep him. I say keep him. I'm not trading.
Right.
I'm not trading.
Right.
So let's see.
Yep.
K Will says, what should we do with our running back and receiver core? What you think, Hop?
I think all positions. I think there's only, to me, honestly, I think there's only really a few locks on this team for next year. Cam Ward, Jeffrey Simmons. As far as what I'm saying is going to next year, as far as what you got, right? You got those guys. I'd have to almost say Dan Moore based on his contract, and I almost kind of say J.C. Latham unless they entertained a trade for him. I want to say Cedric Gray too. I'm thinking of guys that'll be here for sure next year, right?
Right.
I really think that's it. That's a guarantee. So I say that to say, when you look at running back and receiver core, I think competition is wide open for both. We don't have a solid wide receiver one nor running back one. Both positions are available. So I think our overall core needs work. I am not comfortable for where we are at running back or wide receiver. We've seen enough. We know exactly what they can or cannot do. We will not win 7 football games with the same core of receivers and running backs. We will not win 7 football games. Even with the coaching staff that we have, we don't have playmakers. We don't have anyone that's consistent. And what's crazy, out of all those players, I say Tony Pollard probably played the best at his position. DK was an all-pro, but he was a kickoff punt returner, right? And he was a rookie. And I think Tony Pollard played very well. But can we get somebody that might could perform better? It's very possible. I would like to bring them back, but I'm open to competition. I'm not sold. I'm not sold on them. On the offense, receivers or running backs. What about you, Jacques?
Man, I'm gonna upgrade those positions. I'm just gonna keep it frank. I wouldn't touch the offensive line, because the offensive line that's a unit that I would not touch. I don't want to touch it. They was gelling. They're getting to where they're blocking properly. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. Yeah. Pay Peter Skoronski now. Pay him what he wants. I don't give a damn. But bring in competition for all. Brees Hall's out there. He's an upgrade over TP. Tajay Spears, I'm intrigued because I like him. Like, if we give him up, then he's gone, right?
Yep.
He something I would like to keep on the roster. But TP, I like TP, but TP, he's older. His ship is sailed. I think he's a cut casualty. On the receiver end, Calvin, I told you he already got to go, in my opinion. Chimray and Ayo, they're not number one receivers. They are good tools, not maybe threes, but I'll put them in three. I put them in the three category. Okay. After that, you have just a bunch of dudes.
Yep.
So this receiver core needs to be upgraded. And when I say upgraded, it needs to be upgraded. It needs to be upgraded in a way where you can mix and match free agency, draft, and you stick with what you got. You can get it right overnight if you do it right, right?
Yep.
So, yes, it needs overhaul, in my opinion. Yes, we need overhaul. We do.
Yep.
We do.
Great questions, y'all.
Yes, they're bringing them in tonight. Are you worried about Bane's arm length because his tape is great? Hulk, are you worried about his little arms, man?
No, I'm not. I understand it being a deficit, especially picking number 4, right? I do understand that, but all people have to do, to your point, AR Hashi, is to watch the tape. Watch the tape. Watch when he goes around the corner what he does. He plays with unbelievable strength, and he plays low. Like, he literally gets underneath on the edge of the offensive tackle, and he gets to the quarterback. Just because you have long arms doesn't make you an automatic pass rusher, right? And so, where he would have to make it up is just by pure strength and pure will, and he has that. So I'm not worried about his arm length. I'm not, man. I know a lot of guys that have arm length, and they can get to the quarterback, but their arms is way over here somewhere. It does not mean they're going to sack the quarterback. It's your arm length, maybe for knocking the ball down as far as quarterbacks, but he's a defensive end, right? Most of the times you get that from your D tackles, right? Your defensive ends, if it happens to happen, is when he's there to the quarterback. So I'm not so much worried about that. Right. I'm not, because his tape is amazing. What about you, Jake? And y'all,
man, give me the
Miami was a top 5 defense in college football because of Bane. But go ahead, y'all.
Give me the tape. Give me the tape any day, man. You can. I don't care how tall, skinny, short arms. Give me the tape. What was he able to do on tape? He's disruptive. He's a disruptive pass rusher on the edge. Absolutely. And I'm not just talking rushing the passer, but even in the run game, he's disruptive. So when I hear short arms, when I hear this comparison to this is the sick part about football that gets on my nerves, because of the fact that you'll hear like Andre, that comment where he says, "Who said that no edge rusher can in Daboll system?" Yeah, we'll talk about it. But when I see stuff like that, give me the tape. What does his tape look like? What does his tape look like? He stands out on tape, right? That's like Will Campbell for the Patriots, right? People gave him stuff, but he's still a solid left tackle. Okay, he's still a solid left tackle. So give me the tape versus his length. Right. When I hear that, it annoys me, man, when I see that. Like, it's like a Pond from Indiana, the DB. He's what, 5'7", 5'8", but his technique is amazing. If you have good technique, it doesn't matter how tall or long your arms is. Technique goes a long way. So, man, give me his tape. I'll take his tape any day. That's right.
And being a dog, right?
And being a dog.
And wanting to, right. That's Yep.
Bro, I'm gonna say this real quick, and then we'll get to our next question. One thing you cannot teach in football is will, grit, and doggish.
Absolutely.
If you got will, if you got grit, and you a dog, I would take you any day. And something about newer football players in this day and age, either they have that dog, or a lot of them don't have that dog. Okay, I'm gonna say that. A lot of them don't have that dog, but they have the size, they have the technique. But they're not Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons is a dog. He's a competitor. If you talk to this man in everyday life, he competes in everything. Cam Ward has that mentality where, hey, man, I'm trying to beat you in everything that I can. It's a Mamba. It's no point intended. It's a Mamba mentality.
Right.
So when you have that dog in you, bro, and you got a motor, man, bro, give it to him. Yep. Give it to him. Give it to him. Give it to him. So Michael says, why can't Sweat play in the DT position in the 4-3 like how Jarrell did? That's a hell of a point. He just had to get his conditioning to the next level. That's a hell of a point, man. Good comment, dude. Good comment. Good comment.
I'll say this. So Michael Alfonso, great question. So when you run a 4-3 defense versus say a 3-4, because that's what we have been a 3-4, where T Sweat was the nose tackle, right? Takes on two guards, center and a guard or whatever, and things like that. That's where his strength is. When you run a 4-3, you have to be more fast. You got to be quick around the, you know what I'm saying, in the inside as a defensive tackle. And you got to be able to shoot the gap, so to speak, to create havoc to the offense. And I think that's where it would be a disadvantage versus where he has been as a 3-4 defensive lineman. Most 4-3 guys are guys, even like Sebastian Joseph Day. I think he could do well in a 4-3 defense. We don't talk a lot about Sebastian Joseph, but you think of like players like Danico Autry, those type of guys, right? Jarrell Casey is completely different than T Sweat. I've met Jarrell Casey in person. Jarrell Casey is 6'1" at best, maybe 300, 290 at best, because he's got speed. He has speed, right? T Sweat's too big to be fast. You know what I mean? Like, he has deceptive quickness, but he eats up space. Right. So I think that's where the difference would be versus a 4-3, a 3-4 that we're in now to a 4-3. As a 4-3, it's sideline to sideline, it's speed. It's speed. 3-4 is more of our linemen going to eat up the front part.
They're going to lay on you.
Outside linebackers can just be free, roam around, those things, right? You know what I'm saying? That's where I think the difference is.
Hey, and your edge bump back in coverage in a 3-4. In that 4-3, you turn around, them like Femi, who's he's a natural linebacker. It wouldn't surprise me if they bump him back to linebacker because of that. Right. And then you place Bain on the other side because he's speed. Like you said, 4-3 is a simplistic defense. It's a common sense defense. And then you get in a 3-4 where it gets a little complicated because you can do multiple things.
Yep.
But again, he doesn't fit it. But that's on Robert and them to figure out, okay, hey, what can we do with him? Where can we place him? Where can we put him? So you can, in a 4-3 that big, you can kind of find a place for him. That means somebody got to come off, though, right?
Right.
That means somebody has to come off. Means somebody has to come off. That's the problem. Unless they run a multiplistic defense where they 4-3, 4-3-4, schematic situations, which team we playing, if that makes sense. So
right. Yep.
Let's see. We have to get a good slot receiver. The Daboll system uses them just like Julian. Yep. So, what's your thoughts on Makai Lemon from USC?
Makai Lemon, I could see Makai Lemon because, I've been looking at the draft as far as receivers that are available in the draft, right? And I personally don't think this is a deep draft of receivers at the high end. I think there's a lot of receivers, but like high-end first-round picks, I don't see that. So I say that to the advantage of Malachi Lemon. That'll be an advantage for him, the Biletnikoff winner, meaning he was a top receiver in football last year. So, I think Makai Lemon has a whole lot of speed. He can even return kicks. This guy is a very versatile, catches everything thrown to him. He's not the biggest guy. He has very deceptive speed. I think what's going to help him is the combine. Let him run a 4-3. Because of the needed receiver, because the NFL is a league that depends on receivers, he could be a top 10 pick. Now, I don't know about pick 4. You know what I'm saying? If we get a receiver, if we pick a receiver at 4, it's because we need a receiver. And it might not be so much he's worthy of a 4th pick. We just need a receiver that bad, right? So the question would be between, him and Tyson. And Tyson's brother, I was watching the NBA yesterday. His brother plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Jordan Tyson's brother, Jalen Tyson. He starts. Wow. I'm like, wow. So I like Malachi Lemon. I think all these receivers in other drafts, I probably wouldn't talk much about them, but I like them. And, we'll see, man. You, John?
Can he play the X? And I think you look at him from a Mon St. Brown type of skill set. But the thing about the Detroit Lions, the Seahawks, because Jackson Smith-Ojobi, they already have complimentary receivers with them. So they already like Jameson Williams with the Detroit Lions. That's why Amon St. Brown can be successful because he already has that style of receiver. So if hypothetically, if you kept Calvin, then you can entertain it and be like, hey, we can entertain Makai and be like, okay, we can put him in the slot. We can see how he works. If you don't, can he play that X? We need an X receiver. Name me an X receiver right now that we have on our roster that you can be like, okay, I trust him.
Yep. Nope.
We don't have an X, right?
Yep.
Those people are saying Tyson's injuries. I gotta see how he does, and which is a valid concern. But when that Joker's not injury, he reminds me of T-Mac from the Carolina Panthers. Right. And y'all see what that Joker did. T-Mac's not getting enough love, in my opinion. He's a hell of a receiver, dog.
Yes, he is.
So Jordan Tyson has the length, the catch radius, just like T-Mac. Then I'm like, hey, if his injury history if he didn't get injured like he did, he'll be in consideration. You got Carnell Tate, right? When I look at Carnell Tate, the problem I have with Carnell Tate is the body of work, right? Do I trust him on the outside by himself when you have Marvin Harrison, when you got Jeremiah Smith, when you got those type of receivers, bro? Can I spend a 4th-round pick on you and say, okay, hey, you're our X? Are you mature enough to be our X, right?
Right.
I have to see if you're mature enough. So Mekhi Lim is going to get drafted in the 1st round for sure. And will he be successful in the NFL? I think he will, because I can't doubt USC's receivers. They've been putting out receivers like crazy. And they sneaky good. For the 4th pick, that'll be hard. But if you made a trade, if you trade it down, you say, hey, I don't see him at the 4th pick. Maybe pick 13, maybe if he's there, right?
Yeah.
And trade down. But I can see him going to the Jets. It's just a weird feeling that I got because they got 2 first-round picks. So it wouldn't surprise me if he went to the Jets. Now, I think the Titans are going to trade for a receiver. I do. I think they want some experience. I think they want to follow the trend that they got now with the coaching staff. They want somebody experienced. I've seen A.J. Brown name thrown out there.
Yeah. You heard what Derrick Henry said today about A.J. Brown?
What did he say?
Derrick Henry said, I want A.J. Brown for the Ravens. He said, I would give anything to trade him to the Baltimore Ravens.
There you go. Yep. He's injured. He's had injured the Patriots.
Yep. I think that'd be the team he'd go to, as the Patriots. If there was a
team.
So
too. I think so too. I think the thing with AJ, I challenge him to take control of that role. And what I mean by take control of that role, when it's time your name is called, take control, because he does have a tendency to. He did drop some passes, so I can't defend him in that. Right. But mature, grow up mentally, and I think him under Vrabel will help him. But I've heard the Titans are wanting to trade for a receiver. I don't know if it'll happen.
They should. They should. They should. We have a major hole overall in our roster receiver. We should.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So GT says, what about Restrepo? It's like Mason Kinsey. Can Daboll find a spot for him in his offense? That's my thing. What value does Daboll see in Restrepo? Can he replicate the chemistry that him and Cam had, which they had a little bit, even when the one game he did play, but he got hurt.
Yep. So Gorilla 10, the question I have is, how comfortable would you think going into next season, Restrepo being wide receiver, your starting wide receiver, your slot receiver? Anyone else, y'all tell me what you think going into next season. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I think that's what I would look at, because I'll see what y'all say on that.
Yeah. Pickens or bust if we trade him. I would entertain Pickens. Do I think he'll come here? I don't know. How do you think? I mean, the money. I mean, if you don't
money does talk. It does.
Yeah, but I don't see it.
I don't either. If I'm him, unless the money's ridiculous. You know, here's the advantages of Tennessee with Pickens. He'll get paid. He's from Georgia, right? So he's not far from home. I think, and the coaches that are there aren't coaches he's ever coached or been under, as far as those coaches, as far as coaching him or whatever. So there's no rapport there either, right? So I look at it more of, he's a guy similar to A.J. Brown that has to have the football in his hands at all times, right? He did that with the Cowboys, even though he was one of the top 3 in the league this year in receiving yards and catches. And I understand he wants to win, but going into next year, that's not a guarantee he's going to get the ball like he did in Dallas. Right. Year 1 with the Titans with these new coaches. Right. I don't see it. I don't see it. Yep.
I don't. So to answer your question, Hawk, True Hype says nope. But GT came back. He said he's very comfortable. He's a reliable chain mover. So
what do you think, Jacques? Going into if you had 3 receivers, if he's wide receiver 2 or 3.
No, I still need an X, bro. I'm sorry. You can keep him on the roster as one of like your 6th receiver, but as like our 1 to 3, Now I like Restrepo. If I had a system and he's just sitting there and he has chemistry with my quarterback, common sense to tell you, hey, get him some reps with him, see how he works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See if what he can do. It helps Restrepo too, right?
It does.
So,
and let's not get this. I see a lot of people that talk about Julian Edelman and Wes Welker at times like they're just guys that just got lucky, so to speak, on the football field. Edelman is an athlete. Edelman.
Uh-oh. Hey, Hawk, we can't hear you. Your mic. Oh, there you go. You good. You
okay.
back. You back.
All right. So Julian Edelman was an athlete coming out of college. He was an athlete. And he got drafted, I think, I want to say maybe 4th or 5th round, something like that. I think so. But he was an athlete. And Julian Edelman was a hell of a receiver. Like, he's not a guy that's he was on the field. And Wes Welker, same for him. Before Wes Welker went to New England, Wes Welker was a problem with the Miami Dolphins. He was a problem in college. Like, he was an athlete as well. So, I think a lot of times people look at slot receivers as, short guys and catch the ball or whatever. You got to be an athlete too. You know what I mean? You can catch the ball, but you got to have speed. You got to have toughness and things like that. So I wouldn't be comfortable saying Restrepo's in my top 3 receivers going to the season. Yes, to your point, as a depth player, yes. But we got way more needs. We have a lot of players out there that we can sign that could start over Restrepo. I would start DK, A.O. Maynard, and Calvin Ridley right now if all healthy over Restrepo.
Right. All right. Bethany says, should we try to get George Kittle?
Yes.
Even coming off of Achilles injury?
Good question. That's a good breakdown. Yes. So the contracts might look a little different now, right? You know what I'm saying? Based on that, right? Damn, Jacques. Woo.
I got my answer
on that one, bro. You did.
I got my answer.
Yep. George Kittle would love to be here, no question. He lives in Nashville, right? He lives here. And it's no question about it, he'd want to be here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That Achilles going to have to heal up before we spend a lot of money. So based on what we need, nah.
Okay.
Yep. And he's older too. And Kittle, y'all ready for this? In my opinion, y'all might disagree. When you talk about total tight end in the NFL, the total tight end, running, blocking, catching, and all that, George Kittle's the best in the NFL, in my opinion.
Okay.
Total tight end. But he's hurt.
Yeah,
what about you, Jacques?
I can't get with the Achilles, bro.
Okay.
The Achilles is disturbing me.
Yep.
And to get to what I mean, because we have to trade for him, right?
Yep, that's right.
You probably can get a 5th round pick, maybe, but you got Kyle Pitts out there, and I know people are kind of on and off of Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
The thing is, he's younger and he's still in his prime, and you don't know when you're going to unlock it. That's and right, it's even in a Daboll system. So, I wouldn't do it. If he didn't have an Achilles rupture, I probably would entertain it. But with that Achilles, that makes me nervous, dog.
That's right.
That's right. I can't.
We got too many more needs, man. If we are like the Rams or something, they got a stacked roster and you just need a player. Cool. We won 3 football games, man. We got a lot to do.
Right. So True Hype says, what about Malachi Fields as he's projected as a 3rd round pick? Now, if y'all don't know about Malachi Fields, he played for Notre Dame. This joke is 6'4", 223. Okay.
Yep.
And I seen him at the Senior Bowl.
I did too.
And he is a low-key productive receiver that I can see getting with a team and breaking out.
Right. Yep.
But he's almost like a one-trick pony almost.
Yes, he is.
He's a one-trick pony. That's the problem I got with Malachi Fields. He has to add more to his route tree. He's just big. He's big. He's a good like Keon Coleman out there. He looks just like Keon on the field. Exactly. He's good at contested catches, and that's my problem. I'm like, okay, I know you good at the jump ball. What else can you do? Right? Yep. That's my problem with Malachi Fields. And we went 4th round with a receiver. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I keep telling y'all this. And I don't think we're gonna get one in the 1st round, but in the 2nd round, I want a receiver. Yeah, me too, dude. We have to have a receiver. I can't go again with a later round receiver. That's right, sir. Can't do it, bro. We got too many needs at receiver, bro. Exactly. So that's the problem that I'm having right now. It's like, hey, y'all want Cam to get developed. Y'all want Cam to be successful. You got to burn him. You got to give him some weapons. That's right. Give him some doggone weapons. So for me, Malachi Fields is a 3rd round pick. Nah, I'm cool. I'm cool too. I'm cool.
The third round pick is a guy that's going to start.
Yeah.
As a third rounder, right? You essentially think he's going to be and I can't sit there and say Malachi Fields is a guaranteed start. I can't say that.
Right. And two, I'll say this. If first round and second round receivers are going to either hit or they're going to fall, okay?
Yep.
And the last time we had a second round receiver, y'all know who it was. He came in that rookie year, and we said, okay, we got us something.
Yeah, we did.
AJ Brown.
Yep. We said, we knew that, didn't we? We was like,
yeah, we knew it. We knew it off the rip. We knew that we was like, okay, hold on. We got us something nasty, like for real nasty. And so that's where you want to get to when you come and you really think about it. It's like Denzel Boston. I like Denzel Boston. He's big out of Washington, but it's the same thing. It's like he's not a fast receiver. His routes are they're okay. Right. But it's like, hey. And then he has a follow-up question. He says, if Bell from Louisville slid because of injury, would you take him in the third round? I need you on the field now. You can't go into the season injured.
That's right.
We've done that before. I can't do it. I got to see how healthy you are. I can't. I can't take that risk. Yep. I need you to do what Chimere DK did and Ayo Manor. If you can't replicate that, I can't rock with you.
and I would tell you this, True Hype, honestly. Chris Bell was more productive than Malachi Fields. He's not as big as Fields, but Chris Bell is a beast. And Chris Bell, he going down the field and those things, he reminds me of Calvin Ridley. And I think he's a better receiver. As far as injuries, I'm unaware of that because of it. Let's see, if Bell slid because of injury, would you take him in the third? Is he hurt? That I don't know. But I've seen Chris Bell play. He wore 0 for Louisville.
Yeah, Chris Bell.
Yep.
Yeah. He about 6'2", 220. He's kind of almost got like an AJ Brown build a little bit.
Yes,
right?
he does. Right. Yep.
Yep. Then they said Chris Brazil. Yeah. He's another one.
Yep.
That he's a 6'5" receiver. The problem with him is he's a one-trick pony, in my opinion, as well. That's the problem. True Hype said he thinks it's an ACL. See, that scares me, man. I'm telling you.
And it sucks for the young guys, man, that have the talent, but they have an injury that affects their draft status. You know what I'm saying? But as a business, as an organization, you have to look at those things. You know what I mean?
Right.
You have to.
So James says, keep Ridley, sign Kirk. I'm thinking you talking about Christian Kirk. Draft the wide receiver in the top 3 rounds is what I would do. I like Christian Kirk. I do. He's productive. He has been a productive receiver.
Yes.
The Ridley thing is like, Ridley has to stay healthy. That's my thing with Ridley. Now, if you had that 3-headed receiving core, it's not bad, right? But then you have Ayo Manor and DK that you're going to have to slide in there and show love too. So my thought process is like, Daboll, what do you think about these receivers we already have on the roster, right?
Yeah.
And then what do you think about the receivers that you want to add to the roster? That's where you running into your rock in your hard place. It's like, okay, we got 2 productive receivers that really were serviceable, right? They were. But can we upgrade over them and kind of say, hey, Ayo Manor, you did some good things, but how would you benefit if Calvin Ridley was on the field?
Right. Yeah.
So that's it's a debate.
I thought Ayo Manor played very well when Ridley was on the field. Here's the thing what happened with Calvin Ridley. I seen Calvin Ridley in these practices in the season. And Calvin Ridley was clearly the best receiver on the field and wasn't even close, right? I was like, wow, his routes were crisp, catching passes and things. He did have a few big drops in practice. That's what's crazy, right? And it sort of did the same thing on the field. Let's not forget the many drops Calvin Ridley had last year on the field, right? Let's not forget that. Let's not forget some games he had 0 catches on like 8 targets, right? So the question that has to be asked is no slight to Calvin Ridley. It's not. Right. But you have to ask the $13 million question. Is he worth $13 million going into next season? That's the question, right? Because that's what he's owed. And I think Calvin Ridley's a heck of a ball player. He has had his injury issues for sure, in particular his hamstring and those things. So all of that plays into that. You know, Calvin Ridley's a really good receiver. He's been productive in his career. But he had bad games this year. There was 2 games one game in particular, I felt we lost because of it.
Mm-hmm.
Damn near 2 games with him dropping a pass that Cam Ward threw directly to him and he dropped the ball. I said, bro, you got to make that catch, dog. He himself said that because at one point, remember, Calvin Ridley was getting frustrated because he wasn't getting the football, kind of like an A.J. Brown situation. And they said, you know what? We're going to turn it down. We're going to throw it to you. It's a lot of times when receivers talk like that, they curse them.
They can't back it up.
They can't back it up, right?
They can't back it up, yeah.
Oh, and then you didn't drop it, it makes you look worse.
Right,
so.
right. So there's a common theme that I'm seeing with these receivers in this draft. They're big body receivers. You might have, and I'm just looking at the top 12 receivers, right? You got Cordell Tate, who's 6'3". I didn't realize he was that big. Jordan Tyson, who's 6'2". Denzel Boston, 6'4". Chris Brazil, 6'5". Chris Bell, 6'2". And they're not a lanky. They're about 200 pounds plus. Okay. You have, of course, we talked about Malachi Fields, Jacoby Lane from USC. He's 6'4", freaking 196. So in this receiving class, you're getting size, something that we don't have on our receiving core. Besides Ayo Man, who's 6'2", like 200 pounds, right?
Yeah. We
don't have that. So it's like you got Restrepo, you got Bryce Oliver, you got Porsche, and these guys are like 5'11". Correct me if I'm wrong, Hawk. Like 5'11", 5'10" and Calvin Ridley's what, 6?
With 5 best. Six. Calvin Ridley's 6 foot at best.
You know how they pad your height. Yep. You know how they do.
In person,
he's probably 5'11".
I'm 6'2", so I seen him in person. And Ridley at best, pause. He's cut up, but at best about 185, 190 at best. Yep.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He's not maybe 180, bro. Like he's not a big receiver, pause.
Okay. Is he not as tall as us or what?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No. So he's a good height. You know what I'm saying? Good height. He's not short, but yeah.
Okay. So that's what I'm saying. Like they pad you. So it's like, do we want to go taller and heavier? Because when we had taller, heavier receivers, we were successful.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it just depends on what they want. I mean, literally. So
I said I'm a big Calvin Ridley. I like Calvin Ridley a lot. I think it's just an organizational question. 13 mil or no, right? Yay or nay? 13 million or no? You know how the kids say yay or no or whatever. Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, and I know Dobbs is going to, and in this receiving class, I don't think they should get as much. I really don't. I don't think Dobbs should get, because when I'm paying you $13 to $16 million per year, you my outside. I need about 80 catches a year.
That's right.
Maybe 1,200 yards and like 7 touchdowns, 8 touchdowns.
Facts.
Like I can't. And has Calvin really lived up to that contract?
He hasn't.
It's like L'Jarius Sneed. L'Jarius Sneed is the same thing. He's been hurt half his contract, and it's like, bruh, like, why am I paying you? So I think the Titans need to get to the point where they get some success and good body of work like they did with this rookie class. That's why I'm like, when I hear injuries, I would take a Chris Bell if we already had a receiving core that's off the chain. Like Tampa. I use Tampa as an example. Tampa has one of the best receiving cores in the league.
Right.
I would take a chance on a Chris Bell because that's just loading us up for next year.
Right.
Why not? Right. The Rams, same thing. It's like, hey, we got Puka, we got Devontae Adams. Man, get Chris Bell, bro. Go sit down. Go sit down for a year. Get your body right. You'll play you next year. We can't afford that. We need somebody right now.
We need it right now. That's correct. Right now. Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. We don't have a contingency plan. We don't have a, we can't put players on layaway. We need them on the field.
Right. And I think that's where they're going to get to the point where I think they're trying to trade. For what receiver? Hell, I don't know. I mean, again, if you pick up the phone from Philly and say, hey, what would you want for AJ? Right?
Yeah.
Because let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask y'all this. Would you trade for AJ Brown, 1? And 2, what would you trade? What would you trade for?
Would I trade for AJ Brown?
Mm-hmm.
I would trade for AJ Brown. The question, too, is I wouldn't want to trade for him if he doesn't want to be here. I would have to check his temperature. I wouldn't just voluntarily trade for A.J. Brown, okay? So if A.J. wanted to be here, here's my honest opinion. I think A.J. Brown loves Nashville. AJ Brown's from the South. You know what I'm saying? He's from Mississippi, so not too far from Nashville. He's a country boy, a Southern dude. And AJ, I've heard him in different podcasts. He's never really talked bad about being with the Titans or here or whatever. The only thing he says is like, I'm finally somewhere winning. He won a damn Super Bowl. I get it. AJ's been unbelievably successful with the Eagles. Let's not forget that, right? He won a Super Bowl and he's been to another Super Bowl. So I would say that I would trade for AJ if he wants to be here. I'd say a second round. Ugh. I would do maybe a second round this year and a third round next year.
Okay.
That's what I would trade for AJ Brown. But I don't think that's going to happen because I don't think AJ, he would love to be here, but he knows this is a project team. I don't know. What about you, Jacques?
It's the same. I think AJ wants to go to the Patriots or somewhere where he can continue to win.
Facts.
And I think, unfortunately, right now the Titans are not set up in that way. Now, it depends on like the coaching staff. Like, what is he looking for? It seems like he does better under a leadership like Vrabel's, right?
Right.
That's like Robert Saleh, right?
Right.
Robert has that same style, and you hear good things. Would he want to come back? And my next thing is, how does he value Cam Ward, right? Would he say, okay, hey, Cam, give me the ball. I like Cam. I'm rocking with Cam. Doing this, da-da-da. That's my thing. And so
go ahead, Jacques. You said something there, dog, more than what you realize, dog. Go ahead.
When I hear that, it's like, hey, who's the quarterback, right? And you look at the teams that possibly he might go to, like Drake May. We know Drake May gonna get him the ball, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, he got Stephon Diggs. Now, the thing about that, AJ can come here and be the man. He'll have to go and he'll have to play a role with the Patriots. He'll have to play a role with the Ravens, right? Because you got Stephon Diggs. So with Stephon Diggs, you still could be competing for receptions with him as well. Versus if you came to Tennessee, and if I was his agent, I would spin it just like that. Man, you number one receiver.
Yep.
You number one receiver.
You get 100 catches a year easily.
Exactly. And so you're the main guy. So with you being the main guy, I mean, unless he's at this part of his career, he's like, you know what? I'm cool with being a second, but we see how that's working out.
That's right.
We see how that's working out with Philly.
Yep.
So
that's right.
I'm not gonna count it out, but I really have to you have to check his temperature to see what he thinks about Cam Ward.
Yep, that's right.
And does he value Cam Ward and say, hey, you know what, Cam is just like Drake. I can rock with that because even if he goes to the Ravens, ain't no guarantee LJ gonna get you the ball like that. I'm just being straight 100. I like LJ, don't get me wrong. But if you're just trying to get targets, man, I don't know, bro.
Yep.
I don't know.
And Stanley, to your point, Stanley one night, 1989, you're right. We could use him right now, right? Yep. But when you all want to check his temperature first, I mean, I'm saying this is a rare situation because we spinning the block, man. We spinning the block here with AJ, right? So I would just make sure and set the precedent. To your point, Jacques, with Robert Saleh, like, hey, bro, hey, some of that stuff that was going down in Philly, we can't have it. We're a young football team. We can't have those type of distractions here, dog. We want to pay you. We want you back here, but that's got to chill.
So, so they bring up Justin Jefferson. Now this is a pick. If y'all new to the show, Hawk had us picking. I think you wanted us to pick Justin Jefferson in that draft. And I remember we was on the phone. He's like, "Hey, bro, I want Justin Jefferson." We ended up getting Isaiah Wilson. We know what happened with that.
Absolutely.
What would you trade? In Minnesota, be stupid to give up Justin Jefferson, but the way the organization is sitting right now, they probably would. What would you trade for Justin Jefferson?
Minnesota would trade Justin Jefferson because this is how I look at it. They haven't won with Justin Jefferson. They ain't won with him. So that's the difference. And I think that's why Philadelphia with AJ, they've allowed him to do all this crap because they've won with AJ Brown. And that's when people ask me, I know, Jacques, I know a lot of people disagree with me on this. And I'm not saying this past year, because there's been a lot of issues with AJ Brown. But the year before and even the year before that, especially when they won the Super Bowl, I felt AJ Brown was the best wide receiver in the NFL. And I'm not talking about talent-wise, because I think Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson are more talented than AJ Brown. But AJ Brown is an unbelievable playmaker. And what did they do? They won the freaking Super Bowl. Yes, they have a great team. But when the stats came out, Jacques, who was the number one receiver on the PFF ranking? I didn't even know that. It was AJ Brown. Because you can win with AJ Brown. He won when he was here. He won here. We went to the AFC Championship and was the number 1 team in the AFC the year after when A.J. Brown was here. That's the difference. I could see Minnesota trading Justin Jefferson. No question about that. So, sorry to get on the tangent there. That's how much I was a big A.J. Brown fan here. But I would say I absolutely would give up a second-round pick for Justin Jefferson. And I think if the Titans said second round this year, second round next year, if we did 2 second-round picks, they trade them. I'm saying I think they would trade them. What about you, John?
I'll up it. I'll give you my second round this year and my first next year.
Ooh.
I would because that's an instant upgrade.
Right, it is.
For what you have, right? And then if you want to loop back around in free agency and get a Christian Kirk, you can, right? And then if you want to even get more funky with it, you can draft a late round receiver and say, okay, hey, cool. That turns your receiving core from going from here to here. And you'd be like, and you know what he had when he had Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold was throwing it. He was killing it. So his numbers were crazy. So you give Cam Ward something like that, and along bringing Kyle Pitts, I'm just saying, your offense, and I'll give you another one. Bring in a Breece Hall at running back. What buddy say? Shit.
Yeah, that's right.
Come on, man.
That's right.
Come on.
That's right.
Come on. Or I'll even twist it. AJ Brown. You bringing that right there?
Yeah.
Your offense goes from this to this. You'd be like, wow, what happened? What happened with that, right?
Yep.
So and in the 4th round, you still get a Bain or a Reuben Bain or Bailey.
Right.
Or Avery Reese if you feel like that he fits your scheme. So at that point, you cooking. So I would do it. I would do either him. Hell, I'll even call Cincinnati and ask about Jamar Chase. I'm like, what y'all want for Jamar Chase? I know they won't do it, but it's a cap casualty too because they paid him. We'll take the contract. That's another thing you got to think about. These contracts we will be taking. Whose contract is more cheaper?
Huge contracts. Huge contracts.
We're gonna chunk them out. So
when you trade those first round, second round picks, that kind of helps to eat up that salary cap when you do sign them, right? Yep. Because you don't have to pay those the first round and second round because you don't have them. You know what I mean? So that sort of doesn't absorb it all because you still will have to pay Justin Jefferson probably more because he's already there. But it does absorb. It sort of sops the biscuit up a little bit more than what it would be just straight up just sign him. But yeah, he can only come here through a trade because he's not a free agent. Yep.
Yeah. So that's just some of the trades that you could entertain and look at and be like, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. So I think especially if you look at this draft class and you feel like, hey, this draft class don't have a lot of talent that I like that fits my scheme. Yep. Come on, let's do it. Right.
Yep. Shout out to everybody in the chat and watching the show, y'all. We having fun, man.
How much worse is the Titans organization about to look when Vrabel wins the Super Bowl Sunday night? As I told you, go ahead, Hawk. I'm gonna let you cook first.
No, go ahead. No, you about to cook. Go for it.
Sure. And like I've told y'all once before, I look at that like an X. I'm not finna go and entertain I don't care what you do. Okay, good for them. If they win the Super Bowl, man, happy for Vrabel. I'm really happy for those Titans players that went with him. But I'm focused on the Tennessee Titans. I don't care what the Patriots do. I don't care what the Seahawks do. Good for Vrabel. I think, we look stupid for getting rid of him, but I think Amy is kind of making it up now with hiring Robert Saleh and then how they built this staff. She knows she made a mistake. She knows she messed up. She know it. And that's why she's changed what she's changed. Yes, the organization looks stupid anyway because they made it to the Super Bowl. The organization looks stupid anyway because, but the most important thing, you got to realize Mike Vrabel was ready to leave. I don't think people are talking about that enough.
I totally agree with that, bro.
He was ready to go.
Yep.
It's not like he wanted to stay here. He was like, man, look, I'm tired of this shit, okay?
Yep.
He did a whole thing, ring of honor with the Patriots, and he knew, all right, hey, Rob, man, I'm coming, bro. Holla at me. When you take a shot at the organization like you do,
that's
boom.
right.
So you got to think about it. Yeah, we look kind of stupid, but if you don't want to be here, then go. It is what it is. Right. What about you, Hop?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, it does look, especially on the outside, it does look bad. I mean, because we talk a lot about other players that go to other teams and they ball out and things like that. We talk about that a lot too. And so I got to put Vrabel in that same conversation, right? Mm-hmm. And yes, we can definitely focus on the future things like, but I don't think they're intertwined, right? Because you got to do that anyway. You know what I mean? You got to do that anyway. But if I say with Vrabel on the outside of that, I would say that I wish the relationship between him and Amy was better, and John Robinson. That's where it fell through, if you ask me. And I did think it started with the AJ Brown trade because you saw Vrabel's face. He was in shock and was probably thinking, man, I have no control of my players. Y'all just traded a guy that was about to get in his prime. All right, cool. I've checked out. Mike Vrabel checked out, literally. So once that happened, then it is what it is. And the Titans, people have to understand why the Titans let him go. I mean, though Amy's the boss. She's like, I'm the ace around here or whatever. And, he's there. So, it looks bad as an organization if they win. Because, like, man, y'all just fired him 2 years ago now. He wins the Super Bowl 2 years later. No matter how you cut it, he wins the Super Bowl, right? But he didn't want to be here. After that, he didn't want to be here. So you got somebody, they can be fine or whatever, and they cool, whatever. You don't want to be here, I'm going to holler at you. If you go somewhere else and do, hey, that's cool. I got my own life over here too.
Yep, facts. Yep. Now I'm gonna throw a grenade in here after we answer this question because Stanley came through with something funny that I just talked about earlier. So big bad JS says, should we bring back KB? I think KB want to come back. Hawk, do you think we should bring back KB?
I tell you this, man. I would like to bring Kevin Byard. For those who don't know, it's Kevin Byard. Kevin Byard still lives here in Nashville. He still lives here. The mayor of Murfreesboro, my alum, former MTSU football player myself, just like he was as well. He's a few years younger than me. But I think KB would love to come back to the Titans. Again, the question is, KB has never won a Super Bowl, right? He had the opportunity with the Eagles. It didn't happen. And he hasn't won. So I think just like AJ Brown's a little different because he's already won a Super Bowl. But I think KB really wants to win. KB is playing unbelievable. Kevin Byard was all pro this year. He led the NFL in interceptions, man. Again, right? So, yeah, we signed him. Yes. But I don't think he'd be him. I don't think he'd want that. Right? I think he wants to go somewhere like the Patriots. I'll play back with Vrabel. Go to the Patriots. Right. Go somewhere where he can win. I think he should stay with the Bears, honestly. But I don't know if the Bears can pay him. Yeah. What about you, Josh?
It depends. I mean, it depends. It really depends on Gus Bradley and Saleh. Like, what do they see? Do they want to go younger? I mean, they already young with Kevin Winston Jr., right? But you get reliability when it comes to KB. And KB did an interview at the Pro Bowl, and you can tell he's very intrigued, if that makes sense, because he still has a house here. He still has his roots are still here. And so it wouldn't surprise me if they say, hey, KB, what you think? You want to come back? Ooh. And you with a younger bunch, especially with the safety. Now, again, you're a 4-3 defense. We know how it is when you're playing safety in a 4-3 defense, right? You gotta keep that in mind. Like,
that's right.
Does he fit our scheme? So I think that's another thing people got to understand. Do they fit our scheme, right? Does KB fit our scheme?
That's a hell of a point, man. That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Stanley, and I'm going to call you by your new YouTube name, man. One night, 1989, my birthday. Shout out to you, Stanley. But the one reason the Patriots are leaving is because of Josh McDaniels calling plays. Also, I did see Todd down on the sideline if McDaniels leaves. So that's where Vrabel's going to fail. Say if Josh McDaniels, which I don't think he will, but say if he did leave tomorrow, I can see Todd Downing coming back to the Patriots. If that happens, you're screwed. Okay? And that's not learning from your mistakes. Okay?
Yep.
If you do not learn from your mistakes, you are in danger to repeat them. And if KB wants to go back, that's cool. But for Drake May's development, I would beg to keep Mr. Josh McDaniels. I'm just saying.
Yeah. I got you, man. And McDaniel took a year off, man, after he was the head coach of the Raiders. He took a year off, came back, like, I'm here, I'm home. This is my job. Offensive court, yeah.
So we got Kadero. He said, what's up, what's up, guys? Tighten up. Do you feel Big Jeff will go back to back with 10 sacks? And if so, would you make him the highest paid D lineman in the NFL? Oh, do you think he'll go back to back? And then did you pay him the bank? Would you back that truck up and say,
so for those who have been watching our show for many years, in the preseason, when I seen the practices, I said at that time before the season started, he's the best player in the AFC South. I said, I see it, right? In practice, I was like, I've never seen Jeffrey Simmons play like this. He was unfreaking stoppable. And I was just like, wow, I don't know. I said he's going to be all pro. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and he continues to play like that the way he did this year. He's in his prime. Jeffrey Simmons is in his prime right now. He will get 10 sacks in next season, especially in the 17-game season. He will get 10 sacks. He got 10 sacks and played 14 games. So I do think he could get that.
Okay.
That itself is going to write its own check for him being the highest paid D lineman in the league. Now, you got players like Myles Garrett. You got people like Jared Verse. You got other players, Chris Jones. You got a lot of other players as well too. But Jeffrey Simmons has, I think, one more year left in his contract. And so if he does that, he is going to garner a lot of attention throughout the NFL and can easily be the highest paid D lineman in the league. So yeah, it can happen. Yes, it can happen. What about you, Jacques?
I agree. Yeah, I think especially in his solid system. He's going to exceed 10 sacks or 11 sacks because he got 11 sacks this year. He's going to exceed that, and the Titans have the money to pay him. Right. Let him retire as a Titan, right? Because I think that's what I want, and then go from there. Yeah, so man. Now, bro, I just seen something. Stanley, this is funny. He said, "Todd, did you know Downing is the wide receivers coach for the Patriots?"
I did. I sure did.
Right.
I did.
Vrabel, brother.
Yep.
Vrabel.
Hey, Downey's in the Super Bowl,
but not off the rim of who? Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. See. Yeah. Okay. I'm just gonna leave it. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I don't know how I feel about that, Hawk, but we'll see. Let's see.
He's not the OC. He's a receiver coach. I don't think that's.
And Vrabel promote him, and there's Robert Kraft step in and say, "No, don't you do that."
Right. That's true.
Simmons is going to be our main D line and run stuff for us. I can see that. If you want to understand a solid system, go watch a bunch of San Francisco games this year and just learn. Right. That's all you got to do. Only thing you got to do is learn. You got to have a fast linebacker. He likes his corners kind of tall.
Yep. That's right.
He likes his line to be speedy. Okay, they've always been fast.
That's right.
And his safeties, you got to be rangy. So go look at his defense. Just go look at his defense. Go study it. If y'all ain't got nothing to do, if you don't know about football, it's okay. Go pull up YouTube, watch a bunch of San Francisco 49ers games, and you'll just see. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's right.
Go ahead.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Well, y'all, we'll go maybe 2 more questions, y'all. We'll go about 2 more questions.
Make them some good questions. We appreciate y'all also, man, throwing these questions out there, man. We try to get to everybody's question, especially if you're new to the show. Welcome to the Weekly family. We appreciate the love, and we appreciate everything that y'all do, man. So, hey, I just want to give y'all kudos.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Let's see what we got.
One thing, too, when I saw the 49ers, y'all, there's one thing I noticed about their defense, especially in the playoffs. Saleh believes in playing 3 safeties. And there were times I would see him 4-3 is his base defense. But there are also times Saleh was running like a 4-2-5 that I noticed. And so, meaning
explain to the people what a 4-2-5 is, Hawk.
A 4-2-5 is when you have 4 down linemen and you have 2 linebackers, right? And you also have 5 defensive backs, right? And so when you look at it, what I say is, when I think of players like a Caleb Downs, you know what I mean? When you think of a talent standpoint, Caleb Downs will definitely be a talented guy at the 4th pick in the draft. So if Saleh decided to do a 4-2-5, I don't know. We'll see.
So Hawk, they're getting us mixed up. So you mean Hawk? They say you should do it. That's Hawk.
That's Hawk. Yeah.
So Hawk, yes, Hawk should complete. He should complete the gauntlet of the
ball is beautiful, man. Ball is beautiful. You know what I mean? So that is hilarious. Hey, I'll be fine with that.
I knew somebody was gonna bring it up. We're getting new uniforms this year.
Yes.
From what they're saying, yes, we are.
That's right.
Yes, you are.
Yep.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Will y'all be doing a mock draft? Yes, we do. We do a mock draft every year.
Yep,
we do. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the draft on my Bleacher Report show, so tune in, stay tuned. But yes, we do a mock draft. And I don't know if you're new to the show, but if you're new to our show, and this is a true statement,
IR is kind of he's a slick OG in the game.
Okay, so he knows.
Yep.
Me and Hawk have hit on at least one draft pick since
Yeah.
Shit, Hawk, help me out.
At least the
Weekly
last
Family.
4 seasons for
At
sure.
least the last 4 seasons. Weekly Family, y'all can back us up on this.
Yep.
We have hits. It's just which is crazy.
It is.
I understand it, but I don't get it sometimes.
Right.
I think last year, Hawk, for me it was Femi. For you, trying to think.
I had to go back and think.
You had James. You had James Williams.
Yeah, James Williams.
James.
James Williams.
I think I had Tajay Spears one year.
You had Jarvis Brownlee.
I did have Jarvis.
Yep. You had Tajay Spears.
I did.
Oh man, it's another one I had.
Yeah, it's another. I'm trying to think. Oh man.
Yeah.
Y'all making us
think. And when we had them pick, we were not far off on the round. You know what I'm saying? Like where they were.
Yeah.
Yep.
Another thing too is when we do our mock drafts, the players that we do tend to mock to the Titans are successful in the league. It's the most. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. So yeah. He said he's been here. Yeah. So you know. So we'll do it close to when the draft gets close. We usually tend to have like a big live show like we do now, and we will definitely do our mock draft. So y'all stay tuned to that. Y'all OGs know how we do it, man. We fun, and then the Weekly Family, we include them as y'all as well, so y'all know how we do. So
that's right.
Yeah. I'm doing. Hawk, I don't know how much studying you're doing right now at the draft, but I've been doing studying since DC. You know how I do. I do studying like December's. Oh, the one pick we did get right together was Cam Ward.
Right. Correct. Right. Exactly.
We got Cam.
That's right.
Matter of fact, funny 40 story, and then we can get out of here. Me and Hawk were the only podcast media representation that was talking about Cam Ward in October of
It's facts.
The year before.
We were
the only ones. It was between Shador and Cam, and that was even before we knew he was going to have the number 1 pick.
That's right. That's facts.
We were the only ones that was talking about Cam.
Yep.
Everybody else trade the pick. Yep. So yeah. Let's see here. Kadera might take us home. He said, "Do you feel like Calvin really would be here next season? And what about Snead?" So Kadera, I know you're kind of late to the show. I don't think Calvin will be here. I don't. Especially with them talking about rumors of them wanting to trade for wide receiver. Yep. No. Snead, I think Snead is gone too because of his trouble. Unfortunately,
and injuries.
I think the biggest thing is his injuries. Yep. If he would have stayed healthy and he would have showed his value, then yes. But I think Snead is gone too. So you're going to see us go both routes. Draft or free agency. What about you, Hawk?
Yeah, I think so too. Calvin really be here more than say L'Jarius Snead. But I could again with letting them go, you would save $25 million next year.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, 25 mil, along with the 100 million you got.
Well, exactly.
Yep. And you got dead money. What was the dead money, like $500,000 or something crazy like that?
Yeah, something like that. Not much.
Yeah,
not much.
Yeah, the dead money. You good?
Yeah, L'Jarius Snead did not play to his contract. And that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like L'Jarius Snead is a good ball player for sure, but did not play. L'Jarius Snead was our second highest player paid on this team last year. Mm-hmm. L'Jarius Snead was. So that he did not play this contract.
And I know we talked about the Daboll conversation earlier. I get what a lot of people are saying about Daboll and Calvin, but the thing about Calvin, to Hawk's point, if this is facts, no papers, he dropped a lot of passes and he can't stay healthy. I think the biggest thing was if he would have caught those passes, I would have been okay. But when you're dropping passes like you were dropping in crucial moments, that's why I got a problem. And he was killing in the preseason. They were killing in training camp. No, just cut your loss. Just as I say that, cut your losses.
Yeah.
Even with the Daboll connection. So,
yeah, man. Well, folks, listen. We want to say thank you all for rocking with us tonight, man. Great participation as always. I hope you all had a great time, man. Hope you all felt involved as well, man. We really do appreciate y'all, for real. We really do, man. So if you have not followed us or if you've not shared our pod, let everybody know, man. Get your friends over here. You know what I mean? Bring your people, man. Look, follow us here. Hit the subscribe button, man. Check it out as well, too. On Bleacher Report, we are the official Bleacher Report podcast for the Tennessee Titans. Follow us there. Download the app. We have shows on there daily. Pretty much anything that's new. If Cam Ward wakes up and he's eating potato chips, it's gonna be on Bleacher Report. All right. We are on Apple. We got, for those that listen to us on audio, we're on Apple. We're on Spotify as well. We're on TikTok. We have TikTok content every day. We dang near got Instagram content every day. Y'all, we got work out there. Y'all check us out. We out there for sure.
Mm-hmm. And as he says, when y'all check out those particular platforms and apps and all that, make sure you like, subscribe, share the content as he said. Share it with your family, your auntie, your uncle, your dog, your cat, your cousin, your gecko, your bird, your crow. Share it with everybody, man, because we putting it out there, man. We've been putting out content, and we got more content for you. So please do. And again, like I say every show, man, we appreciate y'all participating. I know y'all love these live shows, so hey, thank you for sticking around and listening to us talk Titans and football, period, man. And so, as I say every show, Hawk, brother, take us home, my guy.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, Toy, we appreciate that. Bethany as well. So, Daryl, hey, we appreciate y'all too, for real. So, listen, as we always say around here, folks, well, first of all, we hope everyone is doing well this week. We hope your week goes well. We know it's a Super Bowl this weekend. Wish the Titans win the Super Bowl. I don't know who y'all going for. I don't know if y'all going for the Patriots for Mike Vrabel or against them, right? I have no idea. But, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, hopefully y'all, you know, have a great weekend. And as we always say around these parts, folks, facts.
No paper.
Tennessee Titans Weekly, we carry the rock, but being the best podcast with Huff and Jock. We cover the Titans early in the morning or later, with everything you need, spitting facts, no paper. From the Music City, born and raised, we reppin'. The city and the state of Tennessee, we steppin'. Our fans enjoy, they say they'll enlighten us. Let's go Titans fans and tighten up. Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast. We're here to be the best and never last. Hawk and Jock, what's the plot? To make the Super Bowl, or can we win or not? Welcome to your favorite Tennessee Titans podcast. We give you news and perspectives and do it fast. When you see our shows, tell us what's up. Let's get this win and go home and tighten up.